Hey, good morning, everyone. Just giving you guys a brief walkthrough of the place so far. This is the second week of actual construction. So this is the Mary Avenue Street, and this is the Mary Avenue door entry. It's gonna be a really small seating area here, up to 10 people in this area. This wall, once it's finished, is going to have a really big photo of a nice beach in Hawaii. It's gonna wrap the entire wall. It's gonna be really cool. When you walk through this door, right here is where the giant walk-in freezer and refrigerator are going to be. This is that when it gets assembled. It'll be assembled by me. These windows are going to be professionally tinted to where you cannot see through them, but light can get through. So it'll be like a white color, but light will still get through it. This will be the little section on the other side of the fridge freezer that's going to have a 2 foot deep by 4 foot wide, all the way to the ceiling shelf to store stuff. Right here, we're gonna have an employee break table, just gonna be a little high top like you find in a bar with 2 chairs. It may just have 1 chair, but 2 chairs is the design. There is going to be wall lockers for employees. All along this back wall, the same storage shelving that I just told you about, it's gonna go there. Here, it's gonna be a giant tank that goes up about halfway to the wall, and it holds 500 pounds of CO2 gas. Here is going to be a rack that's going to store 14 giant boxes of syrup that'll be used to make Pepsi, Sunkist, Pepsi Zero, Green River, all kinds of juicy shenanigans there. The pipes will go up, and we will build a conduit that'll go through the wall right there, and it'll come out on the other side there. And it'll go all the way around, and our Pepsi machine will be right here on a counter. This is a 10-foot counter that's going to be here. That's where our POS machines will be. Right here, we're in the kitchen now, by the way. It's going to be a giant ice machine that'll go almost all the way up to the ceiling. It'll hold 500 pounds of ice. There'll be a prep table along this wall, a tiny prep table there, and then there'll be a 2 capacity sink that'll go here. This is just for prepping meat and other things that has to have water in the prepping process. Over here, we're gonna have a mop closet. It's gonna go right in this corner. Right next to it is gonna be a giant sink with 3 capacity, and that's gonna be for washing dishes. On that side in the corner, there's gonna be a small shelf to put dishes on. Right next to it, there's going to be another small stainless steel table to put additional dirty dishes on if dishes are not currently being washed. Here, there's going to be an employee hand sink. There will also be one right here. So in this wall that we ripped out, we're still working on ripping out this part back here. All of this stuff that you see is going to be gone. This wall is going to be completely redone. It's going to be made of stainless steel. There's going to be a giant hood that's going to go in the top. And it's going to extend out all the way to there. Next to it will be our safety equipment for making sure that if there is a fire, we can put the fire out. It's called Ansel. I'll show you in the other room. This right here, originally, the previous owner had engineered this to be a walk-in freezer. She didn't have the money to complete it, and she turned it into a area where she made dough and had a walk-in or a reach-in, what's called a reach-in freezer. And this is going to be our office. There's going to be video screens, or actually our water heater is going to be right there. There's some of the piping. If you can see right here, there used to be a water heater here, and then up in here is the ventilation. We're just going to turn that this way to where the ventilation will be on the other side of that wall I just showed you, and then we will install the water heater and reroute all of this plumbing that way. We're going to maintain this. This is a really nice $300 faucet with hose. That's going to be where our mop sink is. This drain is going to be kept alive in the event that we do have any standing water. We'll just have a regular grate over it, and it'll be a little bit inset in the ground when our plumber comes in and does his work. In this space, you can see there's several drains. We're going to maintain all those, ensure that they all work properly. This one was done haphazardly, so we're going to redo it so that it's perfectly square. It should look like this one over here. Those are called gap drains. It allows pipes to go right to the drain, but not go into the ground. And for whatever reason, that's safer than having a drain that goes into the ground. I don't quite understand it, but it sounds good on paper. This is going to be the way into the kitchen from the Magnolia side. We'll go over there in a minute. There's going to be a 10-foot cashier table / drink carbonator table here, and it's going to have a really nice 10-foot butcher block top. It's going to go all the way across there. In front, it's going to stick out slightly to right about here, and then it's going to run all the way down. We're going to have a screen on this wall, and then there's going to be 4 screens up here, and that's going to be our menu. Those will be dynamic. They'll actually have all the food will be on a animated cycle to where it's showing steam and yummy little animations. This is where we're going to have our really cool Pepsi throwback tall freezer that's going to look like it came from another time. We're going to have alcohol and whatever we want inside there. We'll be serving 4 Kona beers. There'll be a piece of artwork on this wall right here. Now we're in the larger seating area. There's that giant hood I told you about right there that's going to be hanging up. That thing weighs 1,000 pounds. Here are the doors to our fridge and freezer. The refrigerator has slightly larger doors. We're going to be accessing that more. We're going to be rolling carts in and out of there, so it's a larger door. And the freezer is on the bottom. So show you the uninteresting. There's that triple sink from earlier. It's going to have the little shelf right there I told you about. There's the double sink. There's the employee hand sinks. The reason why there's a mop sink on the bottom, the reason why all this stuff is in this latrine is because we don't need it in other spaces. We're doing work in there. We're not currently working on this area. This is going to be the men's room. We're going to get a toilet for that. We're going to fix the drain. Going to spruce up the cosmetics in here, just make it a little less kitschy and more Hawaii, whatever that means. Piece of artwork going to be in this little hall between the doors. This will be the ladies' room. It's larger because y'all do ladies stuff. Right now we're using it as the dudes' restroom because it has a toilet. So this is where we do all of our stuff when we have to do stuff. Yeah. So this room is the big seating room. It's a really nice patio that's ours. We can do what we want to with. If you look there, there's the silos for Magnolia's little compound. This is all the equipment that goes on the roof. This is the makeup air vent. This is the coving curb for the big air. And these are the fans for the air. It's sucking out of there. If you look there, you can see there's little pipes in the back, 2 pipes. That connects to there. And then through a process that is an engineering nightmare, all the air gets sucked out, all the hot air above the grill. This is the makeup air. These right here go in front of this whenever it's parallel, and that allows fresh air to be inserted in front of it so that there's no pressure in the restaurant. The pressure would cause people's ear to hurt and it would suck in a lot of, there'd be whistling noises underneath the doors and stuff when it's coming through, which would be annoying. So this is our big kind of middle wall that's going to be right in front of the cashier counter. It's going to have a giant surfboard. On the front of the cashier counter, it's going to be a custom layout with reclaimed wood, and it's going to say Aloha, and it uses special runes that are owned by L&L that we're going to use to create that, make it look nice. All along this entire 100 whatever, I think this is, it's a lot. It's 170 feet. 170 feet. We're gonna have a different, you can see these little old pillars that are kind of built into the bricks. Between each one of those pillars, there's 4 sections. We're gonna make each one of those sections unique, a unique color, and it's gonna have a band that's going to go from right about hip height with me, and it's gonna go up 4 bricks, and that's gonna be a band, and each section is gonna have its own color. That hasn't been approved by corporate yet. We're waiting to see if they like that idea. This big back wall is going to be another full color, photorealistic, Hawaii-centric location that'll be wrapped on this wall. There's a company that's coming to do that for us. It ain't cheap, but we got a budget for it. Artwork, whatever we find. I know Mom has been trying to find artwork for us, but we're going to end up putting up whatever L&L approves. I really like one of her things she found. It's like a sea turtle made out of sea glass. Sea glass is that glass that you know, broken bottles end up in the ocean, and over time the sand just kind of buffs it down to where it has rounded corners and it looks kind of cloudy. I think that'd be really cool artwork if we can get something like that. We're planning on putting a 1952 map on this wall, which is the year that L&L started. And we're also going to put all kinds of little vignettes on there. Talks about the history, not only of the company, but of Hawaii. No other L&L has that. So we'll be unique in that respect. Here on this wall, there's going to be a big video screen. And we're gonna have all kinds of advertising. It's gonna be on both sides. So as you walk in, you see the screen, you can see advertising. We're gonna showcase all the different companies that have helped us build this restaurant out. And then on the other side, we're gonna do the same thing, right next to the 1952 map. It'll be like a marquee. There'll be some advertising in there from L&L. There'll be specials that'll be interspersed in there. And then somewhere in the space, I'm not sure if we're gonna do it now or later, we're gonna have 2 monitors that will be connected to probably Spectrum, because that's who's gonna do our internet. So we'll probably get a package deal for our phone, TV local channels, and internet. We're not planning on getting anything like UFC or anything like that, but one quick look on this big balcony. Our neighbors, really nice. They have agreed to allow us to put tables from this area right here all the way back there. So we would have tables that run all the way down to Iron Willow, which is our neighbor. Iron Willow makes a lot of stuff out of metal. They're artists. It's really cool stuff. The catch on that is they're gonna put table pieces on all of our tables, and all those table pieces are gonna be for sale, and they're gonna be themed to our restaurant. So like a mahi-mahi or a pineapple, or you get the idea. All that's gonna be out here. So, take you inside and show you the other patio. There's Raymond, breakfast. Grumpy Raymond in the morning. Those are the round pipes, by the way, that connect to there. And see how it's got a square footing? That's the square part that goes on the roof, and it gets sealed to the roof with tar, and then these things are put on top of it to give it some gap to where you put those blowers on top. Same thing for this bad boy, except this one has a filter in it, and it also has a more complex system inside. This is our other balcony. Patio has an awning. Both of them have an awning. Since it's raining, I can't show you where the signs are going to be, but we hired an artist to make our signs. We had several quotes from people to make signs, and everything was spiraling out of control. It was going to cost $10,000 just for signs. We found an artist that's going to do it for $5,000, and he's going to do 4 signs. We weren't going to have but 2. Now we're going to get 4, and they're going to be really beautiful, made out of solid metal. Actually, the artist is none other than Iron Willow, our next door neighbor, and turns out is the wife of the man who is our general contractor. So they're giving us a really special deal. Once again, we will be showcasing their store and helping to advertise and bring some foot traffic to their store. So they're giving us a break on the price. So we're getting a really good deal. I don't know if you can see it, but over there, that's the Dr. Pepper Museum. It's a campus, and it goes all the way to this yellow building with the red roof. And then back there in the back, those are Connex's containers that are used for shipping. There's a guy that has bought that whole back lot, and he's building a really unique shopping area that's going to be a multi-million-dollar project. And each one of those containers is being woven into this shopping center, and it's connected to a large building that dates back to the early 1900s, and everything is being completely renovated. When it's done, it's going to be a really unique shopping area, and it's 1 block away, which means it's going to bring a lot of foot traffic to where we are. This little building with the rocks on the side, that's on the other side of the street, that's going to be demoed. That's going to be a Radisson. They're going to build that. That building that's 1 block away over there with the purple on it, that's another hotel, and that I think is a Hyatt. That little church steeple, that's Chris and Joanna Gaines Church that they just built, and that entire half a block is currently under renovation. It's going to be an outdoor shopping center connected to the Magnolia property. So this entire area is about to blow up in a big way, and the Gaines have also announced that they're going to be building a multi-million-dollar hotel from an ancient building that used to be owned by the Masons and was their Masonic hall way back in the day. And they're going to be keeping a lot of the artwork that's unique to that building as part of their design, so it should be really nice. Well, that's the update. We are going to be ordering all of our kitchen equipment once the plumbing and electrical is done, and then a lot of this will clear out because it'll be installed, and then we'd be able to start doing the cosmetic inside here, ordering tables, and it'll start looking like a restaurant. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.